Day 9 of our beer advents calendar, specifically our Brewer's Advent Calendar, which is full of German beers. Typical advent calendar, basically 24 doors. Behind each door, instead of a chocolate, you get a beer. My kind of advent calendar. So, day 9. Up here on the top. Seems like the later days are on the bottom. I guess try to stabilize the box. 1543. Alright, so I don't know why I always do this because I know it's going to be in German. Something about Märzenfest. And 5.4% alcohol. Gotta look in the box, see exactly what I got here. Give me the style of beer. And this is a German style Oktoberfest beer. So it's going to be like a Märzen, as they mentioned. I'm going to check my cue cards. I've been doing this. Basically, this gives me a little bit more information. There's basically the box basically tells me what beer, the alcohol content, and the beer style. That's it. Where my cards I got from the Cicerone Institute, they're basically, if you're studying for your certification, these are little study guides. So basically each card tells you a little bit about its style of beer. And I don't know if this will have it. They do have, they got a Fest beer. This is Fest Märzen. So I assume this is a style of Märzen. They do have Märzen here, but I don't know if that's the same as this one. They don't have, they got a Fest beer, which might be the same as well. So I'm just going to have to wing it. So I've already given my glass a quick cold water rinse. So it's an Oktoberfest beer, so it's going to be similar to a Märzen. So I suspect it's going to be a little bit malty, and it's going to be darker in color, almost like an amber. Let's see how correct I am. So it does have a little bit of an amber color to it, as I expected. Just seeing if there's anything else I can make out here. Because this almost looks like it's unfiltered. Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of information, sorry folks, it's pretty well all in German. But the big thing is, how does it taste? So you can see the color, it's almost like an amber brownish color. Even the head itself. Not getting a lot of aroma, other than a little bit of maltiness there. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of maltiness, not a lot. So far I'm enjoying it. I've said it before, for regular viewers, not just the Brewer's Advent, I've been doing this for 250 odd beers over about 3 years. I obviously like all types styles of beer, or I wouldn't be doing this. But if I had to choose one style of beer over another, like lagers or ales, I would definitely choose lagers. Typical lager, clean, crisp, and refreshing, and this is pretty well all lagers. I think there was one IPA in there. So I haven't had a beer in here that I haven't enjoyed. It's just the level of enjoyment. This is a beer that I enjoy, and when I take a sip, I picture myself sitting in a pub, maybe in Germany, maybe in England, somewhere in Europe basically, and just stopping in for a beer. I don't think it's a beer that I would, you know, if I'm having a night out on the town, we're going to have several. I don't think it's I probably could, but I don't think I would. For those nights, few and far between, mind you, as I get a little bit older. For me, that's more like a Pilsner or a Helles type thing. But certain beers, a stout, for example, I really enjoy a stout, but there's a time and place for it. An IPA, I didn't enjoy them before, but I Have learned to like them, but it's not a beer that I could sit down and drink several of. And this one is somewhere in between. I could probably have two, maybe try a third, but you know, there'd be a limit. But it is enjoyable all the same. It's one of those ones, there's nothing about it that I dislike, but there's nothing there that's kind of grab me to take it to the next level to give it the 4.5. It's an enjoyable beer by all means, but I think for rating wise, this is kind of like the last one. I think I'd have to go about a 3.5. Not quite sure yet. For those that aren't familiar, my ratings, a 1 is a drain pour. I'm literally going to pour it down the drain. I don't like it that much. I've only done that, I think, once for sure, maybe twice, and I think that was barley wines. A 2 is like, yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I'll finish it. A 3 is a good beer, a 4 would be a very good beer, and a 5 would be the best beer I've ever had. This one I'm leaning towards either 3 or 3.5. I'm going to take one more sip. I think I'm going to give this one a 3.0. I'm tempted to give it a 3.5, but I think about the Vienna Lager that I had yesterday, and I gave that a 3.5. For me, this is slightly less than that, so I think it's only fair to give it a 3, and a 3 is not a bad rating. 3 means it's a good beer. By all means, if you have a chance, check it out. So there you go, folks. Hopefully you can join me tomorrow. We'll see what day 10 brings. Till next brew, as always, enjoy responsibly. Cheers.